Hi everyone, and welcome to the Timeless History channel with me, Deric, aka Sal, the Omega Enthusiast. When a watch-related topic concerns celebrity watches, it is most likely about timepieces that most of us can never afford, and they mainly involve modern watches. I have nothing against modern watches, but this channel's purpose and primary focus is vintage timepieces. So in this episode, I will go through a few vintage Omega references worn by famous singers and actors. You might be surprised, so let's start this episode. Watch number one, which I've made an entire episode on, and I'll leave a link in the description box below so you can watch it afterward. It is the La La Land Ryan Gosling Omega watch. I get a ton of requests from clients to locate this piece. Unfortunately, Ryan Gosling has to pick a really rare watch that is highly challenging to find another. Since the release of this movie, I've only had my hand on one piece, and it was sold in a flash. Because it is so challenging to locate this watch, you'll find many similar examples of other references fabricating it online. So if you are on the hunt for this timepiece, make sure you watch this episode. Watch number two is the most sought after vintage Omega Seamaster DeVille watch, the renowned black dial Omega worn by Don Draper in the TV series Mad Men. Obtaining this watch is as difficult as acquiring the Ryan Gosling watch. A Seamaster DeVille is one of the most popular and highly produced models throughout the 1960s and 1970s. Because so few black dial versions were made, many dealers would send out regular Seamaster DeVille to have it refinished to black due to the high demand for the Don Draper watch. By repainting the dial to black, the watch can be quickly sold and the seller can sell the watch for much more. If you want to avoid buying one with a redial, you must take your time to examine the watch thoroughly. Needless to say, the original iconic Don Draper watch was redialed with an incorrect second hand. If you're looking for an original version, they do exist but require plenty of patience waiting for one to surface. It's like lobstering for the blue lobster. Here are a few things you need to know about the original version. It dates from 1962 to 1965 and is an automatic watch powered by an Omega caliber 562 movement with 24 jewels. The solid steel case can be found under the reference CK14770 or 166.020. The black dial requires the distinguishing crosshair feature where the vertical line crosses the letter M in automatic, which appears like an inverted W. The hour indexes and hands come and may not come with luminescence. And of course, the watch has a calendar feature at 3 o'clock. The Don Draper Seamaster DeVille case dimension is 34mm across, excluding the crown by 40mm from lug to lug. It originally came with a beads of rice bracelet or a leather strap, but if you're trying to resemble the Don Draper watch, you must match it with a croco grain pattern leather strap. You can always click the link above to learn more about the Don Draper watch. Watch number 3, worn by the one and only Tom Cruise in the movie War of the Worlds, is a 1951 14K gold Omega chronograph watch with model reference OJ2439. It is displayed in the Omega Museum, and its description states that it was lent to Tom Cruise in April 2005 to wear in the film. But what I am confused about is the actual watch shown in the movie had a different dial variation, where the 12 o'clock has the number 12 instead of the triangular hour markers. Not to mention that the hands have luminescent instead of plain dial fin like the one from the museum as well. If anyone knows why, please share in the comment section below. This watch was also featured in the 1955 Norman Morris US Collection catalog under reference 9048, but of course it is recognized internationally as OJ2439. The dial version on my watch matches the museum piece. Since the case is 14K gold, and from all the movement photos I've seen on other examples showing OXG on the balance bridge, it is possible that this reference was only sold in the US. Unless you own one of these references without the OXG stamped on the balance bridge, please share it in the comment section. Since this timepiece was launched from the late 1940s to the mid-1950s, the chronograph movement inside is caliber 321. Aside from its alluring and attractive dial, those fancy glamorous facet lugs are eye-catching. The case dimension measures 35mm across, excluding the crown, by 44.5mm from lug to lug. At match, this stitched light brown leather strap to the watch, giving it this classy vintage look. Watch number 4 is an Omega Seamaster automatic worn by jazz legend Louis Armstrong. The piece I have here has a slightly different dial variation from the one he wore on June 20th, 1956. While Louis Armstrong has worn a variety of watches throughout his career, the one that struck me immediately is his 1954 gold cap Seamaster bumper automatic under reference KO14350. I must mention that the piece I am presenting in this video is actually under reference KO14363, which appears the same as a KO14350, except that it carries a 500 series caliber instead of a bumper automatic movement. This watch is unique for its fancy horn lugs, but they are commonly polished down, losing all of their facets. I have tried my best to go through my pile of strap and match one as closely as possible to the one on Louis Armstrong's watch. The case dimension measures 34.4mm across, excluding the crown, by 43.2mm from lug to lug. Even though both versions appear the same from the outside, because of the movement differences from the inside, the case model reference cannot be the same, as the case clamp location are different between a bumper series and a 500 series automatic. Click the link above to watch an entire episode of this timepiece. Watch number 5 is a simple time-only vintage Omega watch worn by the GOAT, the legend, and the boxing world champion Muhammad Ali. The model reference is CK2639, launched at the end of the 1940s and lasted until around 1954. This reference was mass-produced and sold in various case material and dial variation. From 1949 to 1951, it came with a manual wind 15 jewels caliber 265 movement, which was replaced by a 17 jewels caliber 266 in 1952. I assume that the watch Muhammad Ali owned was originally sold in 1951 or 1952, but it doesn't make sense for him to wear it at age 10. Because of the engraving shown on the case back, it seems that the watch was given to him as a gift on October 30th, 1974, after he knocked out George Foreman to become the world champion for the second time. In that case, when he received this watch, it was already in use condition. Reference CK2639 was a prominent timepiece in the 1950s, measuring 36mm in diameter by 43mm from lug to lug. Of course, the watch presented in this video has a slightly different dial variation from Ali's watch. There are many other vintage Omega watches worn by celebrity. Unfortunately, I do not have those pieces on hand to share visually with you guys. The remaining of this episode will only show images of what these watches look like and their owner. Please enjoy the remaining episode and smash that thumbs up to support this channel. I'll see you in the following video.